What does it take to produce a better image? What do you need to concentrate on in order to make your photos look more professional? Does the brand, make, or even the type of camera that you have anything to do with this? These are the things we're going to discuss this week. This is another G7 production. Let's get into it. There was once this socialite who threw a party. She invited a bunch of vendors that she had worked with in the past, since she fancied herself as a professional / amateur chef. When the photographer came through the door, she greeted him and says, "Hey, I've been following you for years. I love your images. They are beautiful, simply gorgeous. You must have a very, very nice camera." Later on, they're sitting there at dinner. Everyone is eating. And she's sitting across from this photographer. After he finished his meal, he took one look at her. She looked up. He says, "The meal was exquisite. I could taste every flavor in every bite that I took. You must have a wonderful stove." Here's the rundown. Equipment and accessories will only get you halfway there. What you really need is accumulated knowledge, applied experience, and a nice amount of skill to get you over the finish line. Think of a camera as a tool. You have to have the right tool for the right job. Every camera has its own limitations and its own advantages. It's just your job as the photographer to figure out what these are. I digress. There are certain things you can do in order to capture a better image. Step number one, always start with the end in mind. When you get ready to hit that shutter, or even before you hit that shutter, in your mind, picture how you want this image to come out. Every aspect of it. Do you want a high key image? In other words, a lot of light, very bright? Or would you prefer to produce something on more of a dark and moody situation, which is called a low key image? Step number two, take your time. The more that you shoot, the more that you get used to photography, you'll start to learn to not rush your images, especially in a non-pressurized situation. When you're doing your own photo shoots, take your time. If you're working for a client, the best way to counteract that time situation, practice, practice, practice. Step number three, and this can actually go before step number one, get out of auto. All cameras come with a manual setting and an auto setting and a bunch of settings in between. I myself prefer to shoot in total manual, giving me full control of the camera. Therefore, I can decide how I want images to come out instead of letting the camera make the decisions for me. Step number four, practice, practice, practice. This is the only way you'll develop your technique. Yes, it's good to look at other photographers' work. I do it all the time. But I look at it in order to get inspiration. My technique that I develop is my own, and thus giving my clients a better idea of what I can produce for them. Step number five, and this is a bonus tip, always take 2 or more shots of the same image. This way, the first shot, if you get it right, it's all good. But if you don't, the second shot and the shot after that is your safety. It's better to take a safety shot there than to get back to the office, go to develop your images, and find out you missed something, or you had a setting that was not quite to your liking. Tip number 6, be confident. If you doubt yourself, you've already failed from the beginning. And the last tip I'll give you, do not be afraid to fail. There is nothing wrong with failing your way to success. If you're new to photography, or if you've been doing it for years, somewhere along the way, you're going to screw up. Hopefully it's not a big screw up and you can cover it up with that safety shot tip. Do these things and it will help your photography. Well, there you have it, people. I hope these things have helped you out, and if so, please make sure to subscribe and give me a like if you're looking at this through YouTube. Until then, my name is Darwin McCoy. I'm your photographer, and this has been another G7 production. Take care of yourselves.